going on, guys? It is Steel from FLC, and we're back at it with another video here. And if you thought our last video with the green 458 was crazy, you know we had to double it here with two beautiful Verde Ferraris, and actually the two cars with the best motors. The V8 naturally aspirated the last time Ferrari did that in the 458, and the naturally aspirated front engine V12 in the 812. Two beautiful cars. I will be going more in depth with them in this video, but make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. It's free to do, it doesn't cost anything, and I'm sure you're going to want to see what we have going on in the future. But for me, I think I'm going to start off with my personal favorites, which is the 812 right here. So no, this is not a wrap, nor is it repainted. This is actually a factory color. It's called Verde Pulido. One of only two 812 GTSs I have seen for the US market that have been painted in this color right here. Honestly, a lot more people should get it in person, probably not on camera. It is so vibrant. And a little backstory on the color right here. It's based off of probably the most famous 250 GTO out there, Sir Sterling Moss's X car, with the black shields on the side. This particular one has a very unique livery though. It has the beautiful Bianco King stripe going around the entire nose right there. It goes a nose cone or the nostril stripe, whichever you want to choose. But these 812s, personal opinion, one of my favorite modern day Ferraris, so easily to jump into. And not to mention, I think it's a lot better looking than the new ones coming out, the 12 cylinder. I think a lot of you guys can agree. So in my personal opinion, this is the last true front engine V12 that Ferrari has made. But speaking of the V12s, and underneath this giant bonnet here lies the powerhouse of a motor, which is a naturally aspirated V12 producing 789 horsepower from stock. Compared to the previous generation of the F12, that car is 6.3 liter naturally aspirated V12. This car is a 6.5, so it's a little bit bigger, raised the horsepower a little bit, 730 to 789, and the torque has been raised as well from 509 to 529 in this car. But the biggest difference I've seen between the F12 and this car is the fact they incorporated rear wheel steering. It was introduced on the F12 TDF, and I'm very happy it made its way into the 812. It helps with braking, steering, a lot of positive things. But by far, one of my favorite things to talk about these Ferraris is the options. So let's go over some of them. Starting off with the front end, probably the most pivotal thing you're going to see is the stripe the car has wrapping around the entire grille right there. And this is actually not your normal Bianco Avis. This is called Bianco King. It's a little bit lighter of a white. That right there was $22,000. That's nothing compared to the almost $200,000 in options this car has. A lot of it has to do with carbon fiber, starting off with the front grille right there. That was over $5,000 just wrapping around the entire thing. You also have the carbon fiber front splitter pieces for an additional $4,000. It actually has front and suspension lifter for $5,700, so you don't have to worry about hitting those. Coming down to the side of the car, one of my favorite options to get on these Ferraris, specifically on the 812s because of the super smooth fender, is the painted shields right there for just over $14,000. A little bit larger than the normal Ferrari badge, but it looks so good on this car. And I think a tasteful thing that the previous owner did was actually get aluminum color brake calipers down there for about $1,500 to match the silver wheels in there. These wheels are actually the same style wheels you get on the F12 TDF. I think it's a very good combo, and I love the Giallo center caps to match the painted shields. These wheels down there for just over $8,000. We have the carbon fiber side skirts down there. That was almost a $10,000 option. Every single carbon fiber exterior option basically, other than the center caps, but I do think they match the painted shields very nicely. We gotta have this piece right here in carbon fiber, the windowsill for just over $5,000. And if you're able to follow me to the rear, you will see where the stripe ends on the back trunk lid right here. And a very nice detail is the tricolore metal badge right there. That was just over a $2,000 option. But down here, this is where it gets expensive because we have the carbon fiber rear diffusers. This centerpiece right here is something exclusive to the GTSs. This was about a $7,000 option. And then we have the two pieces on the side that house the exhaust system for an additional $8,000. So in total, we're talking big money here. And I know you guys are itching to know how much the paint was. The Verde Pulido paint was over $20,000. And this is just getting started. So let me show you inside because there's more in there as well. So I'm sitting inside the 812 GTS, and this particular example has the coil leather interior, which kind of gives it that really historical color combination, especially with that paint. Not to mention, of course, the Daytona style inserts on the comfort seats right here. And behind the seats, though, we have a plaque right there. And that plaque costs as much as a lot of people's cars. It says Atelier on it. And to get that plaque, you have to go through a special program. And say you want a special paint job or a special livery that aren't necessarily on the Ferrari color palette, you have to go through that program right there. And if you really want to get crazy and get into materials and all that stuff, then you can go through the tailor-made program. But again, this car has the stripe and this car has the beautiful paint. Also, some nice details that the gentleman did or on the center console right here, or the central bridge in carbon fiber for $4,000. He got the Verde Polito F1 buttons, that's what they call them, wrapped in Verde Polito. That was just over a $2,000 option, as well as on the steering wheel right here, we have the Bianco King 12 o'clock stripe on the carbon fiber wheel. That was just over $1,000 for that. And by far, the coolest and cheapest option this car has is the floor mats, because they have the white stitching with leather wrapped around them. Very nice detail for $844. Other stuff you're going to see, carbon fiber options like the rest of the center console right here for about $6,000. We have the dashboard inserts, that was just about $7,500, and the carbon fiber driving zone, so you get the paddle shifter, steering wheel, and an LED at the top to let you know when you need to shift for an additional $7,500. But obviously, we can't leave the passenger here alone to just stare out the window, so Ferrari thought of that, and you could order for $6,500 the passenger display that allows them to do whatever they want on that screen and even change the radio. So now going on to the crazy 458 right here. This is actually not your normal one, evidently, because it's in Verde Curves Lucido. One of only 3 that I have seen in this color on the 458 Spyders for the US market. And it has a really cool backstory, just like the A12 does. Basically, back in 2010, when Ferrari was first introducing their hybrid system project, they came out with something called the High Curves project. And the HY in high stands for hybrid, and curves standing for kinetic energy recovery system. Basically, regenerative braking like they did on the Formula 1 cars, and they're testing it out for future cars to come. And the car they used was a 599 GTB, so it had that front engine V12, and actually had the hybrid system that added an extra 100 horsepower. It was basically the prototype car for the Ferrari LaFerrari. And this color right here was actually basically the same color they used on that car. It was a matte bright green, and then a few years later, Ferrari decided to put it on their color palette with a little metallic flick and make it glossy, in which they ended up with this Verde Curves Lucido, a beautiful color, very expensive. Going over some of the options in a minute, but I love the 458 in general. It's one of my favorite rear engine cars that they've made in general in modern day times. Beautiful sound that comes out of the back. It revs to 9,000 RPMs, and actually a very beautiful design. So let me show it to you right now. So once you open this up, you're going to see it has the beautiful naturally aspirated 4.5 liter V8 in the rear. And the reason that they came up with 458 is because it's a 4.5 liter naturally aspirated V8. Nice little detail, but back there it produces about 562 screaming horsepower out of the central exhaust system down there, which actually has a similar design like you'd see on the F40. But going on to one of my favorite things, just like on the A12, this car has a ton of options, $100,000 worth of them. In fact, the paint right here was $30,000, so it takes up a pretty big portion of that, but there's a lot of carbon fiber you're going to see. Starting off with actually a pretty rare one. You don't see this. It's very unique because Ferrari has to make a whole new bumper to get this on here. So unlike the normal 458s, this is all one singular piece and it's all painted. But if you want this for $4,000, they actually have to make a whole new bumper and cut it up right down the center. Very unique detail. I truly think that is one of the nicest options you can get on these 458s. But going on to the wheels down there, those are the optional 5-star wheels, just about a $6,000 option. You may notice it has the green painted calipers down there. So that is not a factory. The second that the car was delivered, they actually painted the brake calipers the same color as the car to match. Ferrari was not really offering anything that crazy at the time, but it actually does have a very unique detail, which is the carbon fiber center caps right there for just about $2,000. I think it ties very well. And you may notice this car does not have fender shields. The previous owner thought it probably would have taken away from the beautiful fender and the color itself if it was a yellow shield, so they just decided not to do it at all. You can see the carbon fiber center caps down there again, but it actually has a very cool detail in the front bumper right there. It has the carbon fiber aero blades in the front grille right there. That was just over a $4,000 option. And the only exterior carbon fiber option that it has as well is right next to the windows. That little carbon fiber piece, that was just over $4,000. But inside, as you imagine, there's more stuff, so let's go take a look at it. So I'm sitting inside the 458 Spider, and right when you open up the door, you may notice it has a carbon fiber door sill for just about $3,000. But now we're inside, you're gonna see it has a beautiful Nero leather interior with the Verde stitching. This is just about a $2,000 extra for all the stitching. And actually on the seats has this really nice pattern on it, and these are the opposite seats of what you get in the A12. These are the carbon fiber bucket racing seats, or those are the comfort seats. These are quite expensive, coming in at almost $9,000. Not to mention this car has the green cavallino on top of the headrest right there for just over $1,200. And obviously the carbon fiber trend does not end with the seats, because we have it basically everywhere else. On the center console right here, this piece right here was about a $4,000 option, and the original owner did not really want all the carpeting on the center console, so we opted to have it all in leather with the Verde stitching. That was about a $3,000 extra. And of course, we have the carbon fiber dashboard inserts for about $7,500, as well as the driving zone. So we have the paddle shifters and steering wheel with the LED at the top, for about another $7,500. But a really nice detail I see is actually the green stitching on the steering wheel. Not a lot of people notice. I just think it's very nice, as well as the Bianco gauge, just for a little colorfulness. And I know you guys are probably really curious, which one would you rather drive? For me personally, I'm not quite sure. They both have their own tastes. This one is a lot more aggressive, whereas this one is a lot more comfortable, and you can't base it on sound because they both sound unbelievably well. And actually, both these cars here are available today at Full Auto Collection. This car is a 2014 with just over 2,900 miles on it, and this is a 2023 with just over 950 miles on it. Let me know which one would you guys take, and make sure to hit that like and subscribe button if you guys enjoyed, and share it with a friend. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Shoot us a message on our socials or give us a call at 954-332-7600 for some more questions, but I'll see you guys in the next one.